I think Osimhen's.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's a doable one. It feels like, doesn't it?
And his stock's not as high as it was.
When you talk about supposedly got financial problems, then you think he'd be one of the doable. But I'd keep Højlund though. I'd keep him with him. Look, he's 20. I know he's not been great. I can see all your faces.
My head's gone with him.
He's a 22-year-old kid being asked to play centre forward for Manchester United on his own for the last 2 years.
I just feel like it might have gone too far now.
Pardon?
I feel like it. I kind of agree with you because I think he will move on and do well. But I feel like it's gone so far with him where you can see his decision making's being affected. You can see he's being weighed down by the shirt.
He's had to play every week. He's the only one there. He's a 22-year-old kid. Man United should have at least three, with the way they're playing now, at least 3 top centre forwards. And I'd bring him into that. If you had Osimhen, even get Osimhen and Gyökeres, whatever he's called.
You know Osimhen, right?
We ain't gonna have the.
You know what? He's struggled like mad of late, especially, and at Højlund, but he's not got the chance to sit down and watch. I mean, if a striker's not doing well, you've no confidence, the man just sits you down on the bench, just come back and have a look, get a bit of hunger back, a bit of feeling back for the game. You can't believe how we all know he's quit. What was that?
Højlund. That was Højlund?
We all know he has got centre forward quality. We've seen it. Look, not enough, I know that. But if he's got experience around, say he had Andy Cole and Dwight York around him, I mean, it'd bring him on so much.
He wouldn't even be on the bench if they had them around him.
Yeah, no, but
I know what you're saying.
He's been absolutely flogged to death.
You think that the fans are like, so Meslier, our keeper, he's made some mistakes, and like I think he'll be a good keeper eventually. But I think this season will go.
He's been going for years, though, hasn't he, Meslier?
Yeah, but
I know he's only young.
Yeah, he's very young still, but the fans are just done.
It does feel like that, Adam, doesn't it, with Højlund?
It's just, I didn't even want him to start.
People forget how old he is, though.
I do see that, and I think in his first season, like me and Rory used to have these debates a lot, and he's slowly worn me down to his way of thinking, unfortunately.
That's what he does.
But like, last season when he scored like 16 goals, United were crap. Like, we weren't creating many chances, and he was making chances for himself. But this year, like, someone would play a pass down the line, and instead of trying his best to bust a gut and go and get it, he'll just throw his hands up at him, and you just think, you're not Cristiano Ronaldo to be throwing your hands up and waving them around.
Adam, a lot of that is confidence, though. I think recruitment-wise for United with this system, it's quite confusing. Well, it's confusing for us, but I assume because he knows the system, he's been doing it for a while, he'll have a really good idea of it. The centre-halves can't change. He's got 5 centre-halves already. You think of De Ligt, Martinez, Euro, Maguire, and the young kid Heaven. So they're not going to get a centre-half. The 2 midfield players, that's possibly a place where they could bring someone in. Ugarte at this moment hasn't worked. Now, another year down the line, he might be okay. I think Casemiro was quite good towards the end of the season, but when you're talking about being physically better, Casemiro doesn't really come into that. And then you think about the number 10s, you talk about Koeman, aren't we? He could possibly be a centre forward.
He could be a centre forward. I think the wing backs is a difficult one to recruit for. I think he's stuck in between having a wing back who can defend or a wing back who's a winger, basically.
You know, it would have been good in his system, Wan-Bissaka, you know. In his system. I know he weren't working for Ten Hag. As that right wing back, just further forward.
You know what? The amount of times his wing backs that he's got now, say it's Mazraoui, Dela or Dorgu, the new lad who's come in, they're in acres and acres of space. But once they're in that final third, there's no quality. That's where I think maybe you bring someone who's more thinking of attacking, more than defending. You think Dorgu is brought in, and you think that's the one he might like because
Ahmad was the only one who looks like a proper.
Ahmad is the one who can do it. Who's the winger? Who probably don't want to run back all the time, but he's going to have to play in the system. Whether you're playing that number 10 system, I don't think it suits him. So when he's out wide, he is a real threat. Garnacho possibly on the other side, but again, he's not going to be the one.
I don't think he's going to be here.
He's not going to be the one running back. The signing of Dorgu is a little bit concerning because it's more of a defensive.
I think he brings up the athleticism in the team as well. Like we're not very athletic. Like you said, we went into the game against Spurs.
But if your team with that system are getting most of the ball through the wing backs, and they're not very good on the ball, it's a waste of time.
You know when you talk like this, Paul, listening to the players, like when we talk about transfer windows, we always focus on the players coming in, don't we? Do you think there should be a mass clear out? Like, how many do you think should leave?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. There will be.
But
won't
like,
there?
what about in terms of the players that have? Do you think Mason Mount should stay at Manchester United, for example?
Why are you digging into Mason?
No,
I'm just curious.
No, it's a
'cause
good question because the kid's never fit, is he? Now, I know towards the end of the season he has managed to stay fit for 4 or 5 weeks, and I think he's a really good player. But is he ever going to stay fit enough?
Manager loves
If
him.
you say to me now he's ready for 45 games next year, then yeah, all day long. But I just don't see it happening. Luke Shaw's a set. How long are we going to carry on with Luke Shaw? He's brilliant. He's perfect for the left wing back position 5 years ago, but he can't do that now. He's missed so much football. If he plays wing back, he gets injured.
No.
But that's the problem. You can't change them all. You want to change them.
That's what I mean, though. Like,
But we might need to, because we've got no
You would
Europe.
probably want to get a better goalkeeper, but you're talking about budget.
Yeah.
You talk about other places of the pitch where it's more important. You just got to say, look, he was great for Inter Milan 2 or 3 years ago. We've just got to hope he's probably not had his best couple of years and that he comes good. And that's the places where you try and save your money.